Hello, my fellow teabags. Cineric77 coming at you today. Coming at you, got a knife review for y'all today. I'm doing a review over a brand that has lately been thrown under the bus. And I can understand because they really do have a lot of issues with their blades. Only problem, I have not really seen anybody really do a good review for them. I've seen a couple, but not since the whole bandwagon issue started. So I feel like it's my duty to sit there and let y'all know that just because this company has one or two knives that people just don't jive with, or that the fact that they use inadequate hardware on it. I want everybody to remember that even Spyderco at one point in time had a lot of issues about the hardware on the Tenacious. So y'all keep that in mind. I've heard people bitch about it, but still everybody, loves Spyderco. So I bet y'all are wondering, because, I'm already like almost a complete minute and a half into this video. Yeah, I've yet to see a knife. If y'all want to see a knife, I can show you a knife. This is not the knife we're reviewing, y'all. I'm just showing y'all a knife. Because I'm kind of going to drag this out a little bit because I kind of feel like being a dick. But that's just me. I am going to be a little bit technical in this video. You will get full specs. I actually have this knife out for comparison with the other knife because there is something I would like to compare and show and hopefully get the word out so other people will listen, like the people who work for the company. This review, here we go, we're 2 minutes in, maybe now I can do it. This review is going to be over the Boker Magnum Bulldog. There we go. Let y'all look at the knife, and I'm going to go over some specs real quick for y'all. First of all, you have a 4 5/8 inch G10 handle with 420 J2 tool steel liners, which are very nice. You also have a 3 1/4 inch long cutting edge with an overall length of 8 inches. You have a complete 1/8 inch thick stock. Very nice, very beefy blade. It's a good blade. Weight being 6.2 ounces, and your blade steel is a 440 bead blast stainless. Now, got the specs out the way. I'm going to go over the one thing about this knife that I do not like, and that's where the comparison comes in. Now, as y'all can see right there, the liner lock is not even a 1/4 inch as thick as the blade stock. So it's not even a 1/4 of the thickness, which sucks out loud. That's the only thing. Now, the reason why I have my razors out here is I want to show y'all something. Now, when you got a good big beefy blade, the best thing to do is sit there and have two different thick liners. Now, the liner that has the lock on it should be like the razor here, because as y'all can see, the liner lock side is as thick as a frame lock. So that's the only bitch I have about this knife. The only one. Alright? If the liner lock would be thicker, I wouldn't bitch about this knife at all. Because as many times as if I flick this bad boy open, and as heavy as that blade is, I'm not barely past 50% right now. Barely. You have a really nice large blade. Real easy to open. It's a really smooth knife, y'all. Not even smooth. You have incredible jimping on the back on your thumb platform. It's not a ramp, it's a platform. And that's just because you actually have an extremely deep finger choil And if you notice that the handle shape is kind of weird, it's because right here, this part of your hand actually is supposed to sink in right there, and that's your finger troll, and then your thumb rests on the plateau. So, and it really, that's a good solid lock in your hand. There really is no hot spots, not even from the clip, because the way the clip is shaped, it actually, conforms and pretty much melts in, and you have what I am calling a fingertip choil. Excuse me, right here at the base of the blade, so that way you can get, more of a choked up grip on it, and it still provides excellent purchase for a grip. And because of the blade shape and thickness and the location of your finger troll, this knife is actually great for chopping. Yes, I would do a lot of light chopping with this and save the edge of, say, maybe a larger blade or my tomahawk or my hatchet, one of the two. Now, penetration, this knife is not good for penetration. The tip is not acute enough. It does have a nice tip. It will penetrate. It's not great at it. You do have a lovely high swedge. Doesn't go far back, but it is a nice high, deep swedge. You have a nice hollow grind on the knife. On a high hollow grind. You got a nice, it's about a third of the way up. So it's a good hollow grind. It's an excellent slicer, believe it or not. And even better chopper. This would be the big, badass, beefy knife that I would take, folder-wise, that I would take camping with me every time I go. Just because, simple fact is, if anything does break, I'm still lashing this damn blade to a stick and making an impromptu spear or something like that. Because that's good, thick blade stock. I would actually even suggest you can pry with this because of the lack of an acute tip. But when I go to pry with it, I would be sure to pinch right around the pivot area and pop it out. Now, I'm going to get started on the hardware on this because that seems to be everybody's main problem is hardware and blade play. For starters, I don't have any blade play issues on this knife. None. Not side to side, not front to back. And I've used it. I really have used this knife, y'all. I've had it for about 3.5 years, maybe 4. And every knife I get, I use. None of my knives are really safe queens. After I use them for a little bit, yeah, they sit and collect dust. But guess what? They get used again after they've been used. I just don't like carrying the same blade, on a daily basis. When it comes to my folders, I'm weird like that. I have so many, and most of them, if I carry them, I play with them, I use them, and that way I know they're not just sitting around looking pretty. But yeah, that's really it. You got a nice lanyard hole. The hardware in this is very nice, very pristine hardware in this. It has not stripped out. I've had this knife taken apart at least a half a dozen times just playing with it. Because Lord knows if I have a knife here that I can take apart, I'm going to take it apart. And once again, like I said, the only thing I had to bitch about was the thickness of the locking side of the liner. Like I said, if y'all notice right there, that's almost as thick as a frame lock. As a matter of fact, it's thicker than the frame lock on the Drifter done by CRKT, the ones on the Razor. But this one, being a blade that beefy, that thick, that's an 1/8 inch of steel. And you barely have a 1/16 of an inch, not even a 1/16 of an inch, like a millimeter maybe, or 2 worth of metal trying to stop that big beefy blade. Yeah, so in time, I know the more I flick it out, the more I use it, the more that lock face is going to wear. And when that happens, I'm either going to have somebody make me a new thicker liner for it, or I'm just going to just put it up on the shelf with a big ass red R tattooed right there for retired. And I'll just keep it. Because in my opinion, this is a good blade. It's a damn good blade. It's a damn good cheap blade. Like I said, these things run at max $15. And if you find it for $15, you can talk them down to 10. Because guess what? You can find this blade for $10. I promise. So yeah, that's it. You know, thank y'all for watching. I don't have any problems at all with my Boker. I've never had a problem out of any Boker I've owned. I have given away and traded quite a few of them. Never had any problems out of them. For those of y'all who do, I'm sorry. I have not. So, anyways, man, plus, you know, this is not a good EDC for medium to small people. And when I say that, anybody really under 6 foot, or anybody who's really I can't fucking talk, who weighs less than 250, probably won't like this knife, because it is big, it's bulky, and it does, you know, weigh a lot. It's 6 ounces. That's like a quarter pound right there, y'all. Or close to a quarter pound. So, a little over a quarter pound, yeah. Yeah, it's a little over a quarter pound worth of weight. So, you know, I can understand why people's like, that's too big, too bulky. For me, I carry big, bulky blades. Like the razor. And stuff like that. Hiatsu is not a small blade by a long shot. But I'm going to quit this video before I digress anymore. For those of y'all who have problems out of Bokers in general, try this Magnum. Try the Bulldog. If you don't like it, then you'll never be sold. But for those of y'all who haven't made up your minds yet, I suggest y'all give this one a try. For those of y'all who do, I'm sorry that you've missed out on at least this good blade done by them. I've said it once, and I'll say it again. I'll probably say it a million more times before I retire from YouTube. Just because it's a cheap knife company does not mean they only put out cheap knives. They do get it right every once in a while. As the old saying goes, man, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So, there you go. Once in a while, people are bound to get it right. Thank y'all very much for watching. I hope this has entertained as well as educated. Comment and subscribe, as always. Y'all know how to do all that jazz. Thank you very much. Keep your finger in the troll, y'all. Have a nice day. Bye.